Sacred Africa, What the World is Returning to. Part 1. A Great Correction. The Stillness Before Change. The world is not ending. It is correcting itself. Every civilization reaches a moment when it must stop and look at what it has become. A moment when speed replaces wisdom. When convenience replaces connection. When power forgets responsibility. This moment has arrived. Not as disaster, but as truth. The Great Exhaustion. Humanity is not broken. It is tired. Tired in the body. Tired in the mind. Tired in the spirit. We live faster than our nervous systems can regulate. We consume more than our bodies can process. We extract more than the earth can replace. Chronic disease, burnout, loneliness. These are not personal failures. They are collective symptoms. A signal that the pace of modern life has exceeded human biology and exceeded planetary limits. When progress outruns wisdom, science is extraordinary. Innovation has transformed life. But intelligence without wisdom creates imbalance. We built machines faster than thought. Systems larger than accountability. Economies that value growth over life. The earth does not rebel, it responds. Rising temperatures, unstable seasons, disrupted ecosystems. This is not revenge. It is feedback. The same feedback a body gives before collapse. Fatigue, inflammation, pain, forgotten agreement. Long before nations, long before corporations, long before industrial systems, human beings lived by agreement. An agreement with land, with water, with ancestors, with generations unborn. Life was relational. Health was communal. Wealth moved in circles. Power meant responsibility. Africa did not abandon this agreement. It was dismissed, misunderstood, exploited, but it was never broken. The return is not accidental. Across the world, people are not regressing. They are remembering. Remembering real food, natural medicine, breath, rest, community. Science now confirms what ancestral knowledge always understood. The body heals best in rhythm. The mind stabilizes in connection. The earth regenerates when respected. This return is not cultural nostalgia. It is biological necessity. The earth will rebalance, with or without our consent. The question is not whether change will come. The question is whether humanity returns consciously or by consequence. From memory to responsibility. Remembering is not enough. Memory without action becomes nostalgia, and nostalgia cannot heal a wounded world. The return we are speaking of is not symbolic. It is practical. It asks a question that cannot be avoided. It's not a place we arrive at. It is a pattern we repeat. Every system we build teaches the next generation how to live. What we normalize becomes culture. What we reward becomes behavior. What we ignore becomes collapse. The world we are returning to will not be created by slogans. It will be created by daily choices. Rebuilding health as a system. Health was never meant to be isolated. A healthy body requires healthy food. Healthy food requires healthy soil. Healthy soil requires respect for land. When health is treated as a commodity, disease becomes profitable. The world we are returning to restores health as a relationship between body and food, between stress and rest, between people and community. Healing is not something done to us. It is something we participate in. Economy as circulation. An economy was never meant to hoard. It was meant to circulate. Water stagnates when it stops moving. So does wealth. The world we are returning to measures success differently. Not by endless growth, but by stability. Enough for families. Enough for communities. Enough for future generations. Prosperity is not accumulation, it is continuity. Technology with conscience. Technology is a tool, not a ruler. The question is not whether we use technology. It is whether technology serves life. In the world we are returning to, technology assists. It does not dominate. It reduces harm. It restores time. It supports connection instead of replacing it. Innovation guided by conscience becomes protection. Community is the foundation. No society has ever survived without community. Isolation is not freedom. It is fragility. The world we are returning to rebuilds community intentionally. Shared meals. Shared responsibility. Shared care for children and elders. Belonging is not a luxury. When people belong, violence decreases. When people belong, healing accelerates. Governance as stewardship. Leadership was never meant to dominate. It was meant to protect. In the world we are returning to, leaders are measured by what they preserve. Land, life, dignity. Power without accountability corrupts. Stewardship creates trust. The return is already happening. For return is not coming. It is happening. In kitchens, in gardens, in conversations like this one. No single group will build the future. But together, with memory, with responsibility, with care, we can build a world that does not need to collapse to correct itself. This is Sacred Africa, not a place, a principle, and the return has already begun. The return was never elsewhere. The return was never about going back. It was about remembering how to move forward without losing ourselves. The earth did not abandon us. We stepped away from listening. Africa did not wait for permission to remember balance. It simply never forgot. What the world is returning to is not a place, not a culture, not a single people. It is a way of relating to land, to each other, to responsibility. This is Sacred Africa. If this film spoke to you, not with fear, but with recognition, then you already belong to what is returning. Like, subscribe, Share, not to convince, but to remind, because the return does not begin on screens. It begins in how we live. Sacred Africa, remembering balance, restoring responsibility.